just so that I understand, you've been charged with something and you've been released on certain bail conditions.
It was a peace bond. I was arrested initially for a charge of criminal harassment. But then when the police officers brought me to jail, they changed it once, and then they changed it again. So by the time I finally appeared before the judge, 14 hours later, I was facing an allegation of an 810, causing fear of injury / damage. So it's really only been an allegation. So I've been going through the whole court system on an allegation where no evidence has still been provided. And the conditions of release that were issued to me on the 17th of August are designed to be, in my opinion, impossible to follow. So because the charge in the first place was quite flimsy, they were hoping that by issuing these conditions of release that 30 days later I would give them something on a silver platter that was an arrestable offense, violating conditions of release, which I haven't done. So the hearing was scheduled. The 30 days later happened on Monday. I went into court to represent myself. I said I do not consent. I refused to sign anything. I refused and refused and refused. So then the judge moved me over to criminal court the next day. I appeared in criminal court at 222 Main the next day, and I did the same thing. I kept asking, am I free to go? I've committed no crime. Please produce evidence of a crime. If there is no evidence, I would demand that I be set free, these conditions be deleted, and that all my freedoms be restored, et cetera, et cetera. So I was representing myself. I was making things very difficult for them. And then they said, no, we're done for today, Mr. Lefebvre. And then they sent me to the registry office to consent to the conditions of release, which, of course, I didn't do, along with the new court date. So I have not consented to the new court date or the variation on the conditions of release. I wanted to try to find out what I had to do to get the conditions of release deleted, so I went to the registry office. They sent me back to the Crown Counsel office, who sent me back to the court, who sent me back to the registry office. So I was trying to do all of this on Tuesday, and I spoke to Jonas Dow, who's the administrative counsel out of that office, and he said, we're not going to be helping you today. Basically, he was tired of seeing me, even though I was well-dressed and being very respectful. And then when I came back to that office to ask for a list of all the Crown prosecutors so that I could reach them on a one-by-one basis to, share with them what I know of the case and put this form in front of them to see if they would sign it, when I went back into the office to ask for that list, a sheriff came in with 2 deputies or 2 other sheriffs, and they physically moved me out of the building and said that I was causing a disturbance. So by refusing to consent to the new date, I'm halfway out of this. What I need to do now is to get these conditions dropped, and the only way to do that is to get a Crown prosecutor to fill out this portion of the form so I can submit that, and it can be witnessed by a justice of the peace, etc. So I'm wondering what I need to do to find that Crown prosecutor who will look into this and realize I should have never been arrested. I should have never even been interrogated. What I have done is not against the law, and so forth. Yeah.
One short answer is you can't. But that's the short answer, and I'll give you a longer answer in a minute.
Sure.
And the reason you can't, move your file from Crown Counsel to Crown Counsel, and
even though I'm technically acting as defense counsel, I've been defending myself since this started.
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't require or arrange or.
Oh, wow.
Move a file from them.
How does a person get the consent of a Crown prosecutor other than the Crown prosecutor to fill this out, or is that just the way it works? It has to be the Crown prosecutor in the case.
It's the Crown prosecutor that the Crown assigns to handle the case.
Oh, that's where I got because they told me at the courthouse that it can be a Crown prosecutor. They told me that, which is why I went looking for that list. All right, so it has to be the counselor who appeared in court. All right.
Well, it may or may not be the one who appeared in court, but it'll be the one who has been assigned internally at the Crown office to handle the file.
It's Wednesday, September 26th, and I am walking down Hornby Street right now. You guys can see that is I've entered the 1000 block of Hornby Street. My destination right now is 800 Hornby Street, so I can hand deliver this to the legal officer who wrote me that letter last week, Karen Leung, legal officer at the office of the chief judge. I'm now going to go try, hopefully, wish me luck. We're going to now go try to hand deliver this letter to her. Hopefully she'll take it from me. Read what the letter is in the description. Sorry. You guys read what the letter is in the description. Again, thank you to the individual out there who is responsible for 90% of this letter. He knows who he is. And also, just an update on the Alaska Airlines contest. I've confirmed that the credit is there. I was on the phone with Alaska Airlines this morning. That money is in my wallet, and it goes to the first person. It will go to the person that I decide has uploaded, who has shared, who has submitted the best sign idea. And because there have only been 8 entries so far, I think we need to set a deadline. Because at this rate, I'll be waiting for 50 entrants for quite some time. So the deadline is going to be midnight Saturday. Midnight Saturday, the 29th. The winner will be announced by Monday or Tuesday. And actually, to book the flight, you're going to have to tell me when you're traveling, and I'm going to have to book it for you. So while I said I will give you the certificate and PIN number in the first announcement, I can't do that. Alaska Airlines has put the money in my wallet, which means you tell me when you want to travel, and you will travel on me. So the contest deadline is Saturday, this Saturday, the 29th, midnight. The winner will be announced sometime early next week, and then you tell me when you want to travel. You tell me when you want to travel. You've got $430 to use. So I am now obviously not going to be able to film once I enter the law courts, but as soon as I've failed or succeeded to give this letter to legal officer Karen Leung, who wrote me that letter, I'll let you know. So I went right up to Ms. Leung's office on the 3rd floor at the office of the chief judge, and I wasn't allowed entry. I spoke to somebody through the intercom, the receptionist, who told me Ms. Leung will meet you on the 2nd floor security area. I am now waiting for Ms. Leung on the 2nd floor security area. You can now see that the time is 25 to 2. So we'll see if she comes to meet with me today. Her assistant came down. Of course, Karen wasn't going to come down and talk to me directly. She knows precisely why I'm here today. So her assistant came down and asked me, is there something you would like to leave with our office today? And I said, yes, of course there is. So she took that. So hopefully her assistant will pass that on. Hopefully I will not hear from Ms. Leung at a later date saying, I never received that correspondence from my assistant, Mr. Lefebvre, even though I just gave it to her and was directed to come here to meet with Karen. So Karen Leung herself did not come meet with me. I met with her assistant, Amanda, who was very pleasant, took the correspondence, and I guess I will now wait to hear back from the legal officer, Karen Leung. Thank you, Karen Leung, for taking that correspondence. I look forward to your response if you're watching. If not, fine. So this was the office of the Supreme Court. Notice how I'm not in the downtown East End today, viewers. I'm once again, and would you believe it? Hey, by the way, okay. So this is 800 Hornby. You see that over there? 800 Hornby, right? Check it out. 800 Hornby. And you guys recognize this street? Check it out. And the corner of Hornby and Robson is right over here. I almost forgot. So Caesar tells me what to do over here. While the cult members enjoy not having to endure my filthy, disgusting presence. Notice how I don't cut, viewers. Okay? I mean, I might have to cut if a celebrity showed up and I could get in trouble with YouTube, but notice how I'm not cutting right now, okay? I'm crossing the street. I'm anticipating the possibility of breaching the conditions of my release, so I'm crossing the street right now. And the reason I'm crossing the street right now is because, as you can see, there are cult members set up right over there. Can you guys see? That is Robson Promenade. You can see them right there. See them right there. So the cult members are set up right there. Caesar is coming to their defense right over there at the law courts. How picture perfect is that?